Number 7, Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect, SummerSlam 91. This one, I know I've been saying moments, and earlier when we talked about Rey Mysterio, Kurt Angle, I said that it was a great match. But the moment for me is the fact that I felt like it was like one of the greatest openers of all time. This, a lot of people may not remember this, which is why it sticks out in my mind. But Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect at the time was a dream match. That was the match that everyone thought, what would happen? This is the one dream match that could happen in the company that never really happened. It's kind of hard to do dream matches now in WWE because there's so much programming that you run out of booking options. Everybody wrestles everybody all the time. But back in these days, like for instance, this is SummerSlam 91, we didn't have Raw, we didn't have SmackDown, we had Superstars, we had the occasional special. You could keep your roster apart from each other for long periods of time. Remember, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker were in the WWE 10 years before they ever touched each other. That can't happen today. But back then, you were able to, because of the programming and baby faces and heels and keeping to a regimen, there were certain superstars that never touched and never crossed paths. People forget that Bret Hart, for the beginning of his WWE career, was a heel. He wasn't a babyface. He became babyface after the tag team run with Neidhart. When he was done with the Hart Foundation and Jimmy Hart, he turned into a singles babyface. And that's when this dream match became a possibility. So people were like, wow, they're really such good workers and such good wrestlers. I wonder what would happen. And I remember hearing a lot of the Southern wrestlers who always looked at WWE like cartoon wrestling. You know, it's not real wrestling. It's like that kiddie carnival ride bullshit. But they looked at this match and went, holy fuck, that's a wrestling match. That's a wrestling match. That's a match that could have main evented any card in the world. And it was in WWE, and it shocked them. And I would love, did you get a chance to watch this match? Because I would love to kind of, you just said a second ago about the nostalgia factor. Take away the nostalgia factor for just a second. But I wanted to ask you, when you watched these guys work and the way that they worked and how big and expressive they were, like Mr. Perfect selling, right? He's taking big bumps. And doesn't this kind of, I was watching it back when I put it on this list. Remember I told you about Shawn, that we thought Shawn was overdoing it. Shawn was like, no, but that's how I used to bump back in the day. Well, this is Perfect back in the day. Are you seeing the way he's bumping for Bret? That shit was fun. He's cartwheeling, he's spinning, he's inside out, he's hitting turnbuckles and bouncing in the middle. He was doing all that shit.
Yeah, they were bouncy. They were bouncy for sure. For sure. But one of the, up until this point, if I'm not mistaken, this is the third Bret Hart match that you've had on here, if I'm not mistaken. At this point. Right? Is it the third one?
Yeah.
Yes. The stand, like, don't get me wrong, this match was insane, but for me, when I'm watching it, my standout is like, God damn, dude, Bret. There's a reason why Bret was number one. This guy, it just didn't really matter who he was in the ring with. He just shined. And with Mr. Perfect on the other end, I don't have a big memory of Mr. Perfect. Like, I remember vaguely. But to see him, like, work with Bret, oh my God. Again, this was another one of those high-intensity matches.
Yep. This is it's continuous motion.
Yeah.
They just kept it moving, kept it moving, kept it moving. This was a coming out party for Bret Hart. This was one of the matches where, okay, the ball got rolling, because it was next year in 92 when he won his first WWE championship, beating Ric Flair in Saskatoon. So, like, this was the coming out party for Bret Hart. Like we talked earlier about Lesnar and The Rock. Like, this was the match that he had. The perfect match was the match where he stood out. And people said, oh, baby, this guy's the real fucking deal. I wonder whatever happened to that Bret Hart kid. What did he end up doing with his career? I heard he did all right. Just don't mention Bill Goldberg around him. That's it. And then he's straight.